All right. Hey there, Mr. Johnny. Welcome to
Hey, what's
Dirty
up, man?
Fantasy Sports, everybody. This week we've got some exciting topics on hand. We're going to be talking about the NBA All-Star Weekend to kick things off. Then we're going to move into talking a little bit about some NBA Top Shot. They just had a nice pack drop that just went down. Actually, three of them.
Woo!
Then we're
Whoop,
going
whoop.
to talk a little bit about some NBA trades because there's a lot of trade rumors coming up. The end of the month here is when we are dealing with. We're going to be talking about trade deadline, and then we get some time here. We're going to hit the NFL quarterback carousel part 2 since we talked a little bit about that last week. If you missed that, you can always go back and rewatch it on our YouTube channel, where we would love it if you liked and followed and subscribed and all that fun stuff to help us out and build a little bit of an audience so we can answer some questions for the folks as we keep going along. So first off here, Miss Johnny, why don't we talk a little bit about this NBA All-Star week time? I mean, it's one day. It's not even a weekend anymore. It's one day.
Yeah. It just feels weird, man. I'm excited for it. It feels weird because it's like All Star Weekend is always like my favorite, like one of my favorite times. One of the things I think that's really going undersold is like the Rising Stars game that we're missing. Like that's one of the games that I really, really enjoy. I really love that one. But nonetheless, it's NBA All Star Weekend, and we definitely got some stuff, man. So the skills competition, that's where all the fun begins for everybody. Is right there. Got some awesome participants, I think, man. We got Covington, we got Luca, we got CP, got Randall, got Sabonis, and got Vooch. And if I'm not mistaken, man, I think the last couple of years, the big guys have slid in there and have stole the trophy, man. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the direction I'm looking, man. Is it some of those big?
Yeah, like you said, they've had the big guys have ended up winning it the past few years. Luca and Chris Paul, it even says right on the main page there, they're headlining this thing. But hey, Vooch might steal it, or Sabonis. I'm
You know
rooting
that's
for
where I was
Randall.
going, my guy. Man. Sabonis and Luca. I think Luca's obviously the fan favorite, but Sabonis is my guy. He's been my guy for a minute, man. I'm feeling Sabonis. I think it's really easy to go with Luca for sure, but I do agree with you with Vooch, man. Vooch is definitely he's definitely a dark horse as well. But Sabonis, man, for everybody that may or may not know, which they should, Arvydas Sabonis, man, probably way ahead of his time as far as skilled big men. To make it to the league, he got here, man. On the back end of his career, played with the Portland Trailblazers, with that team that had Scottie Pippen and Rasheed Wallace and all those guys, man. Really great team that never won, but nonetheless, though, his son is definitely all-star. Called it from the beginning. That's my pick, dude, man. I think he's one of the most skilled players in the NBA, passing, shooting, and that's what this whole competition is about. Is that right there, man?
Yeah, this is the thing. I'm rooting for Randall.
Oh yeah,
Got to go for Randall. I don't know
yeah,
why he's in this thing. I don't know why, because you have to dribble in the skills competition,
yeah.
and my man can't
Right,
dribble. Like he doesn't have handles at all. You know what I mean? Like it
right. But it's the figure eight deal. Like it's not that, man. The one thing that like in the past that has really killed people is the pass.
Yep,
That's the one thing that has killed people is
chest
because
pass.
like it's that's what kills them is that right there. And they come down and it's like they can't get the pass. They can't get the pass. It's like they can knock the shot down all day, man. Like they take
Yeah,
1,000 of those shots a day, but it's that pass that is the killer for everybody. So I'll be interested to see how that pans out because I guarantee you, like whoever it is, it's gonna be the pass. They're gonna hit it first time that ends up winning the skills competition for sure, man.
yeah. That's what got Embiid when he did it. He couldn't
Yeah.
he couldn't get the pass in at all. Like.
Oh
And
man.
you know him. I think he ended up just missing him on purpose so he could run ahead. He just threw it to the side and
Yeah.
did some crazy shit. All right. So
Yeah.
who's your pick for the skills competition? Who do you think's gonna take that?
Like I said, man, I'm hanging with my man Sabonis. Like I said, I just feel good about him. I think he's way, way, way stupid underrated. As as a player, and I think this is really a platform to him for him to showcase his skills and kind of let the world know that hey, he has officially arrived.
Cool. I'm gonna go with Randall. I'm gonna take him. I gotta do the
Whew,
hometown pick.
whew.
Going with Julius. I know he can't dribble, but like you said, maybe he doesn't have to. It's no one's in front of him, so he can just run ahead.
Yeah,
He should be good.
yeah,
So all right, so that's the skills competition. Next up, we got the 3-point contest, and they got Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Steph Curry, Zach LaVine, Donovan Mitchell, and Jason Tatum, all in the 3-point competition. And I got love for Zach LaVine. I'm excited that he's in this because I think that'd be great if he won the dunk contest and the 3-point. That'd be great. I don't see it happening, but
yeah.
I want it to happen.
Nah, man. No, he's a scorer, not a shooter. And side note, Book is actually out, man. Book's
He
not
is
going to
out.
be
That's true.
participating in the all season. So
My
yeah,
man
so Mike
Conley.
Conley, I think yeah, he's going to be taking his place. So
Yep.
M Town love for real. So congratulations to him for sure. He's definitely well deserved of the All Star honor. But for me, dude, like how in the world, and I'm gonna go off on a tangent, my first
Yeah.
tangent of the day, I'm about to go off on. How in the world can you not pick Steph Curry? Like, how can you not pick Steph Curry in this situation? Like, like that's the pick. That's the pick 100%. And
Yep.
you know, just kind of my tangent that I'm about to go on is like sideways. I've heard, listen to a couple things, man, and some of these guys, people will be like, hey, Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. And people will be like, oh, no, well, he's not the greatest shooter of all time. You got guys like, Reggie, and you got guys like John Stockton that was a great shooter, Jeff Hornacek that was a great shooter, Craig Hodges that was a great shooter, and obviously Larry gets put in that conversation. But like those guys were not making the shots that Steph Curry makes on a nightly basis. Like that is not real. Like Steph Curry is the greatest shooter, period. Bottom line, end of discussion. It's not even up for argument. This guy has been that. And even people talk about his dad, and his dad was okay for an NBA player for sure. Like
Oh
they're
yeah.
obviously all super good. But like, dude, like come on, get a grip. Like, are you watching the same things that I'm watching with Steph Curry? Like, those guys were
Yeah.
not hitting those shots, and they weren't hitting those shots on those guys, and they weren't the guys for their team. This guy's getting double and triple teamed every flipping night, and he's still coming away knocking down 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 3-pointers a game. Bruh, like,
Yeah. No,
it's him.
I
It's him.
I don't know how you can't pick Steph in that grouping either. Like I don't know. There's like maybe
No.
if Dame or someone else was in there, but like
Right,
I don't see
right.
anyone beating Steph either. I mean that's gonna be a tough one. Maybe Mitchell is a dark horse, but I mean he's a dunk guy too. He's dunk contest. I don't.
Yeah.
I can't see.
I mean,
it, though.
JT, man, JT, he's improved, man. He's an improved shooter for sure. I'll give him that. He's definitely an improved shooter, but the rest of those guys, like, that's not their calling card. Like, those guys are not like they're not known as 3-point shooters for sure.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, like, if you had a guy like, maybe like Joe Ingles, like if he was there, like, okay, like that makes sense. Like I would even say, like, man, maybe like a Kevin Herter from Atlanta, like that makes sense. Trae Young,
Yeah.
like that makes sense. So, like, I don't know if it's just because of the situation with COVID and like they're taking it, taking a safe approach in terms of people that are gonna be there and be involved in the shootout. But like, golly, man, and like, I don't know. I don't think it's a great group, and I think Steph is head and shoulders clear above the rest of the group, man, for sure.
We got some folks that are tuning in here. We got MGL said he's here just for the open up the top shot pack, and I ain't opening it this early, my man.
My man, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Top shot.
I do have a pack. I can open it, but I'm not opening it this early. The stream just started.
No, not right now.
Hang
baby.
out
Not
with us
right
for
now.
a minute if you want to, and we're going to talk
Sure.
about Top Shot in a little bit. And then it's funny, says George Zimmerman was my favorite shooter. That's the I don't know. That's not really a basketball comment. We're not gonna roll with
No,
that.
no, man. We ain't
Yeah.
on that. We
No,
ain't on that, bro.
you're in the wrong party. So you might not often we send people away, but you might just want to bounce. So on this, I'm with you. I'll go with Steph Curry. He's my pick for this one for
Yeah.
sure. Hey, I hope Mike Conley wins it though. Honestly,
It'd be dope, man.
he got disrespected. He came
For,
in for a
for
guy
so
that
long,
came
man.
in for a guy that got opted out.
Yeah.
Devin Booker was a
Yeah.
replacement. Conley's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
replacement for a replacement. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
has that ever happened before? Has there ever been a double replacement? I don't know about that.
Not that I know of, man. Like not right off the top of my head. Can I say that? No, like not off the top. I know they like one kind of on that note. Like they were having the well, like they're kind of like when they had like Dwayne Wade and Pau Gasol like be a part of the All Star team because they had announced their retirement, things like that. But like that's not the same situation, and it kind of seems like they kind of went away from that because I was thinking maybe your boy Melo, but I don't think there's been a third string All Star, not to
Yeah.
my knowledge, man. No.
No, I don't think so either. All right, so we're going with Curry.
Yeah.
We're gonna move over. Let's talk to a little bit about the dunk contest here. In going to that, and the first thing I gotta say about the dunk contest is how are you gonna have a dunk contest that has more judges than contestants? There's more. There's only
Bruh.
three people.
Bruh.
There's only how's
Let
that
me go
how's that even
again.
work?
Like, let me like, I man, like I went on my rant last week about like this used to be like the highlight or like the next biggest highlight before the All-Star game used to be like that was it. And like, obviously, man, like, times have changed and like a lot of the stars aren't doing the dunk contest. My boy Bron, he never did it. And that's the only asterisk I ever have against him is that he didn't do the dunk contest. But guys like Kobe, like they did it, VC, Blake, like T Mac, those guys, like they all did it. And like they all performed well. But like when they start like getting gimmicky with it, man, and start having three people and teams and like a spin board and all
Yeah,
that's lame, man. Like that's lame. Like, as fans do, that's not what we want to see. Like we want to see the guys that we see on a nightly basis jumping over like Anthony Edwards, bro. Like that's a guy like you want to
yeah,
see in a dunk contest. That's a guy you want to see, man. Like so
yeah,
like I really wish they even with the circumstances with things, man, I wish they just would have did it a little bit different. Even if they were like, hey, like the dunk contest is going first. All right,
right.
cool. Or like, because obviously you can't have it after the All-Star game. That kind of defeats the purpose. But like, you kind of know what the set time is for the shootout. Like the shootout is going to be what it's going to be,
Yep,
unless hey, unless it goes sudden death. But like the dunk contest, man, when you put it in that window of like, okay, hey, halftime,
right.
like, dude, like you're asking for a complete disaster as far as like that goes. And then, there's no guys that like really have that star power. Like you got Obi Toppin, you got Simmons, and then the
Yep.
other cat, I think they just bought him up from the G League. And I
Stanley.
think he's played like maybe two. Yeah, like I think he's played two games the entire year, bro.
Yeah,
Like and like and like he's probably got stupid hops, but
yeah,
like, bro, come on, man,
yeah.
come on.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
I think three guys. I hope they can get it done with three guys. There's only three contestants.
oh,
Like the worst you're gonna come in is third. Will forever be able to say, "Hey, I got third place in the dunk contest." Like
oh man.
it's crazy. I don't even know why they're having it. It doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't get it.
It
Don't
just
get
makes
it
me
at all.
it just makes me laugh because I got a guy, man, and he's like, we'll be like, oh man, like how'd you guys do? He coaches girls soccer or whatever,
Yeah,
and he coaches some track and field. And we'd be like, yo, like how'd you guys do? He'd be like, oh, well, we didn't come in first. He's like, but we came in
yeah.
we didn't come in first, but we came in second to first. I'm like, like what?
Hey,
Second to first, like, and like with three people, like to your point, bro, like
yeah.
that's what you get, man. It's like,
That's
oh,
it.
third place, all right,
We got
cool, I
this
guess.
guy Sammy here. He wants to says, "Hey guys, what do you think about all the market issues?" We're gonna get into Top Shot here in just a moment, and I
Oh,
can tell
bro,
you, we
man,
we got thoughts about that. We got some thoughts
yeah,
about
we
that for
got thoughts,
sure.
homie.
Yeah, so
All
give
day,
us
man.
just a second. We'll be right on to that Top Shot here in just a moment because we got some thoughts on that. Let's move.
Yes, sir.
We'll move right along so we can get into Top Shot because I know a lot of folks want to get talking about that.
Yep.
We got our
Yeah.
last. Who's your picks for winning? LeBron versus Durant, and then who do you think's going to be the MVP for the contest or for the All-Star game?
Man, you always know, man. Like, I'm riding with my man Braun for sure. I do think that's the team, like, because it's really, honestly, it's a toss up, man. That's the team I'm gonna go with. I like that team, man. Giannis, Steph, I believe Luca as well. That's a team. That's a team and a half right there. And then they got the Utah guys as well. But I tell you what, man, the one thing like I'm really, really, really leery about is that Durant team with with Kyrie and Harden. I don't know if you caught the clip a couple of nights ago when
Yeah.
Brooklyn was playing LA and Bron was shooting those free throws and Kyrie was out there talking trash. It's the best free throw shooter y'all got at the line right there. So it makes me kind of feel like this is a setting for those guys to kind of send a message, to him and say, hey, like, we're here and we're gonna be here, and we hope to see you, in July. So, but nah, like, so for me, I guess all in all, I'm gonna ride the hot hand, man. James Harden's been he's been a monster
Yeah.
the
Oh
last
yeah.
month or so. So I wouldn't be shocked, man, if he ended up walking away with the hardware.
Yeah. Oh, hey, and he's been playing MVP style, like how he used to play all the time. So yeah, I
Yep.
don't see anything wrong with that either. I'm gonna root for the Durant team, just on the other
Yep.
end. My boy Julius Randle's on that team, so I got to pull for
Oh
them.
my gosh.
I got to do it. Got to go for
Oh my
got to go
gosh.
for them. And I'll say,
Uh,
like, I think the starters for LeBron's team look nice. Like that's a good starting group.
yeah.
But the depth on the backups for the Durant's team, I think, are better across the board. So for me, I'm gonna pull for Durant's team. I agree with you. If Harden comes out and looks anything like what he's looked like over the past few weeks here, and comes out on a mission to prove a point, I think he could win it too. I'm with you. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised though if LeBron gets it. You know, make maybe a little makeup for the MVP award
Hey
last year.
man, don't even give it.
He,
Well, I mean, hey man, the guy, he definitely knows the history of the game, and I don't know. I don't know how old Magic was when he won his All-Star MVP in Orlando when he came back, from the HIV thing. But LeBron, knowing what he knows about the history of the game, to your point, having an opportunity to go out there and kind of play maestro with those guys, because like he definitely has. It's clear he's a point guard at this stage of his career, and he still has the body frame, to be able to bang and to be able to get boards when he chooses to.
yep.
So you put, again, to your point, you got Steph, you got Luca, you got Giannis, like those are guys right there that can make it happen, and he can kind of just go along for the ride, and he doesn't have to go put up 40 because we know there's not going to be any defense played until the fourth quarter,
Oh
just
yeah.
like it always is. And I love the format of the game, by the way. I
Oh,
think
it's
it's
great.
great. It definitely last year it made the game way, way, way more competitive, and you could see some guys that are not traditionally known for playing defense trying to, and guys were going to James Harden playing when he was on defense
Yeah.
last year like nobody's business. And you seen like little things, like I think it was Embiid and Harden, they kind of got a little bit catty last year coming down the stretch. So I'm excited for it, man, for sure, dude. But yeah, hopefully my man comes through. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see. I really like the format. I like how they're doing. I like that they're playing for a cause. Give it a little
Yeah.
extra reason to actually try out when they're out there. It's awesome. It's great.
Yeah,
All right, so
for
we're gonna
sure.
transition over to some Top Shot, but we got a question from this man Bobby in here. Johnny, I think you're the guy to answer this for me. He says do you believe there's anything wrong with a man wearing a little eyeshadow and bronzer?
Oh, like what? Oh
Hey.
man, golly. Hey, listen, man. If that eyeshadow has the tint of championship rings and MVPs,
Hey, you do
oh
you,
man.
man. Like that's how you do you. Hey, we just out here
Oh
talking
man.
cards and basketball. You know
That's it,
that.
baby. That's it. That's it. That's it. You
All
serve it
right.
up, we'll get it, man.
Hey, so here we go. We're moving into talking about some Top Shot. Had the Seeing Stars drop that just went down here, and it got a little crazy. We got MGO wants to know if you got the Doncic Seeing Stars moment. I do not. I didn't even open my Seeing Stars pack yet. And Johnny, I believe you did open your Seeing Stars pack. You didn't get Doncic though.
Yeah, I did. I opened my Seeing Stars pack. Actually, I got the Kawhi was the All Star that I got. I got a Mike Muscola, 87, and then I got a Clint Capella like 7,000. Those were the cards that I had for the Seeing Stars pack. It is what it is, man. I'm not gonna try to make the move to go after the whole All Star set. Just trying to play smart as far as like completing any challenges. So, so I flipped that today. It was 275 is what it went for. So that was a win. My brother, he got one as well. He got a Jaylen Brown. It's like I think like 780 something. I think 787, I believe, is what he got. He got a Jaylen Brown. My other brother, he pulled a card today as well. And I think the card he pulled was I want to say it was Vooch, I believe. He is what he pulled. So I don't know anybody personally yet that's got the Luka. One of my other guys, he got the Steph a couple of weeks ago, man, in the big pack, in the hollow pack or whatever. He got the Steph on that one, and he flipped that one to get that Lonzo Ball. So that's where he's at. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I haven't opened my pack. I might open that up today on live on the air. We might have to do that. Drop that right on here. But yeah, I was holding out because I you know me, I like to wait. Because what's crazy is someone mentioned about the market earlier. I think it was Sam mentioned about the market. The market has been crazy. It's been way down, and it keeps going down. And I'll be honest, I thought it was going to bounce up. I thought the market would go up a little bit because they had, if you look and see when they dropped the new packs or the new cards, they're all the 35,000 print in there for their serials. And like this here with this Tyrese Halliburton, 35,000. So that's really high. So I made the assumption that we would start to see our 12,000 and 15,000 limited editions from Series 2 start to rise, start to go back up.
Yep.
That hasn't taken place, man. They've stayed pretty idle. Some of them even have gone down. And that was a little shocking for me. I especially knowing that this is NBA All-Star Weekend, I thought the market would pick up a lot, and we'd start to see some stuff moving again. But unfortunately, that has not been the case at all, which is really pissing me off quite a bit. Actually,
man, golly, man,
it's getting hard out
man,
here.
like it is, man, because like I was like, all right, like hey, like I was starting to see like a lot of action, and I was like, okay, like let me pick up some things, and like I had picked up some things for sure. And like now, like I mean, I have a Ja Morant dunk. It's a common 10,841, and at one point that card was like almost $400, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna sit on it and wait. And I think now it's like maybe like $200 now, and like the same thing with like the Karis LeVert, the limited edition layup, 686 out of 1,500. Like I put that one up there for a hefty price, but now like the lowest price for that card at one point it was 1,600, and now the lowest price for that card is like $900, man. So I'm like freaking out now, man. I'm like, oh my god,
big
golly, man.
And you see, and Sam, I see you on there, man. I see you, Sam. Put it on there. The market's down because it's been impossible to buy. You're not wrong on that. The issues with the market. Hey, we're going through maintenance. We hit up on that last week a lot too. That's been crazy because you one moment you're on there, you're trying to put your cards up for sale, or your moments up for sale. Next thing you know, it's down for maintenance. You can't do anything. You can't take them back off. You can't put any more on. You can't go buy more. It's been wild. Which I know there's a lot of Top Shot guys out there that are like, oh, it's they're working through their system, they're working on that. These cats are making money. And
Hand over fist, bro.
this system should be working. It should be smooth by now. And they should get things going because it's just like anything else. It's a service. We're paying for a service. It should be able to get running and be going better. Back to what I was talking about with this, this is the first time in a long time you're seeing $3 and $4 cards or moments. I keep calling them cards, but they're moments up there. With the good news is the $3, $4 ones, the majority of them are the new 35,000 print cereals. So that's the good news. There's a couple down here, like right here. There's a Zubok that's a 15,000. It's only $5. And there's a couple in there sprinkled in low. But in theory, if you look at it similar to like the stock market, these lesser cards should drive up the lower print cards to make the value of those go up. Hasn't happened yet, but that in theory that's how it should work. Or if we get another influx of folks that come in and register and become new members of Top Shot and go in and want to start buying stuff up, that should also help drive it up. But I'll tell you, like,
I think it's gonna happen. I think that is what's gonna happen, man. Because like now, like it's caught a buzz like huge, and so like for a lot of people now, like for them to try to get on board, like they're gonna have to invest, and those are moments that they're gonna have to pick up, man, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, it's been pretty wild too, and you guys that are out there, make sure you like, subscribe, come back because we talk Top Shot every single week. This is what we do,
yes, sir.
And we love having you comment in there, and so we can chat it up with you. I know for us, one of the things we've talked about is having to sit through the lines. Being the first, you're waiting all day long, you're ready to go, you jump in there, and then you're randomized to like spot 130,000 when there's only 5,000 packs or some shit like that, and you're like, what? how did that happen? And I thought when we was talking earlier this week for the first one, when I was on there like ready, in there quick. And I got pushed down to like into 90,000 range. And I'm sitting there like, are you kidding me right now? And then you text me and you're like, oh, I'm in the 5,000. I was like, all right, hey, at least
you know what happened though? That's so funny because like, man, like no lie, like I'm like, all right, like I'm just like checking, looking just to make sure. And like I was on there and like I clicked and I'm not even lying to you, man. Like it was probably 20 minutes before the drop itself. Like I was able to actually join, and I was like,
"Oh no shit!"
What? Yeah, I'm like, "What? What's going on right now?" And so I'm like, "Okay, like, I didn't do something,
bro."
So that moment, like, that's when I text you and was like, yo, like, hey, man, hop in line, man. Like, I text everybody up like, yo, all my boys, get in line, man. Get in line.
When you text me, I was already in. Because I'm on this shit like
that's
with three browsers, a tablet. I'm over here. I got some Nokias and satellites and shit trying to get me in this motherfucker as quick as possible. Like, I'm on it. I'm in it, like, right away. But every single time, and I'm sitting there, and this is my truth, Johnny. I'm gonna tell you my truth here. I'm sitting there and I'm walking down the dark alleys of Top Shot in the marketplace, looking around corners, and then before you know, out comes Top Shot, all just coming in with their ashy knuckles and dry fists, and they start fisting me, no lube, pushing me to the fucking back of the thing. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, what just happened,
bro?
What just happened?
That's how it happens, man.
And I thought these guys were going to do that to me again for the second drop because I was in there again, ready to go, waiting.
Yeah,
And I think they said they had I can't remember the number, but it was like 60,000. I was like 59,999. Like I was right on the cutoff. I went all the way to the very end, and I ended up getting the pack. So I won't complain too much. I got my pack.
No.
I'm happy. I like that they're doing just the one pack per person. Even though it seems just un-American that you can't go in and buy up more, I think you need to because you're competing against these sneaker bots and shit, which none of us are fast enough to beat those bots. It's just not going to happen.
No.
So they have to put some of these things in place to be able to help keep that stuff regulated so everyone at least can feel like they have a chance to get some of this stuff.
No doubt.
Which is crazy.
No
the
doubt.
other thing, as I was going to tell you about the market drop, and I'll pull it up here, is you see a lot of the Series 1 cards uh, that have been that were like in the lower range, like in the
Yep.
3,000s. They're back under $100 again. Like
Yeah.
these were all cards that were, if it was $399, they were all 150 or higher just a week ago, and there's a few down. $79 is the lowest one. They're
I
they're
know,
still
man.
dropping.
I
That
know.
that is concerning, for sure. Like
That
that's
is.
a little bit concerning. Like shit,
But like, I
man. I
feel
got
like
I got four of these Josh Okogis. I got four of them sitting there waiting. I had them and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sell these bitches for $250 each. Nope, they are sitting in
nope.
my. I'm holding on to them because it's dropped back under $100. Not much you can
I
do
mean,
with that.
it's got to happen at some point, man. And I think it's just a matter of kind of like when the cool cats dropped and stuff, like in the gift cards, like people were like moving them quick, but then like as you seen, like the longer you held on to them, the more
Oh
you were
yeah,
able to actually get for them. And so like I feel like even though like as tense as it is right now with the market and like them making more cards and more people getting on and more rules, like no matter what, man, that retro shit it's gonna be important at some point in time. And then also too, you got to take into consideration, like you said, it's the stock market as well. Like you got to take into consideration the actual player itself. Um, as far as like what the value of that is because like you can hop on there like it like for example like I always go to my man Carousel like
yeah,
not playing but like hey when he gets back rolling hey like more likely than not he'll be hooping he gets to hooping hey the value of that card shoots up. John Moran is kind of the same thing. He was hurt when he came back, the value of the card went up, the value of the moments I should say went up, and then just the overall market itself went down, but Ja was playing nice, so the value for the moment was up. So it just is what it is, man. It's gonna be peaks and valleys. It's gonna be ups and downs. It's just like DFS, man. Every day is not gonna be profitable. You can't
yeah,
win all the time, but like it's definitely it's a marathon and it's not a sprint, man, for sure.
yeah, definitely. No, I agree with you, for sure. That's definitely the case. Well, I'll tell you what. We got a few folks on here that have been patient with us, going through some Top Shot with us. I'll open up my pack. I'm gonna open it up.
Woo!
Might as
All
well,
right.
right? Hey, I pulled up
Might as well.
I did get Derrick Rose. I got the gift. I kind of wish I would have just sold my cards because there was a minute there when all my gift cards were like 600 or higher, and I kind of was like, man, I should have sold them.
I moved straight up off them bitches
Oh,
quick. I moved up off them.
I know.
I moved up off of them at the right time, bro.
You
The
know
right
what?
time.
You know what? It was the Derrick Rose New York Knicks thing. Why they got to put a
Got
Knicks
him.
player out there? They pull me in. They
Got him.
pulled me in.
Got
Ugh,
him. Got him.
painful.
Oh
So
man.
painful. I did wait because I almost bought that Julius Randle Cool Cats when it was up there, and it's still dropping, and I'm like, ooh, keep going, keep dropping.
Get it.
Come
Get
on,
it.
just keep
Get
going
it. Get
down.
it.
All right, let me pull up this pack, and we'll run through it real quick. I do love that Derrick Rose gift, though. I had to get that, and part of the reason was I had just watched that game like that week when they announced this, and I was like, oh, I just saw this play.
That's funny.
All right, let's see here.
That's
So
funny.
let's pull this pack and see what we
And
got.
just so you guys all know, the people that are all watching, this guy's lucky like this. Like he fucking pulls a LeBron, out of one of these packs, man. So like I don't like I feel like I'm gonna be like pissed, like just watching this moment having as Luca pops up on this screen here. Like
No, dude. And it's crazy because these packs, man, like I'm like half tempted not to open the pack because there's people selling the packs unopened. For those of you that haven't opened your pack yet, there's people that are selling these packs right now, 250 and higher. I saw one today get sold, a Seeing Stars unopened pack, $350. Someone bought it for. So like, if you haven't sold your pack yet, and you or haven't opened it yet, and you're looking to flip it, you can make some money. You can make some money.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open it. I told you as I would.
Man,
There's a little jiggle. And I
You
love
know
it.
it's probably gonna be a Zion. It's probably gonna be a Zion or a Luca or some shit like that right there, man. It's probably gonna be one of these real legit young guns here, or Braun or some shit.
Man,
Probably. Watch this. Like,
see, and
why not?
I
Why not
want.
another LeBron? Why not?
I'll
Why
be
not?
honest. I'm holding out because I want to get that. I want to have the moment I want is I want the IQ where he's swimming on the ground after hitting the three. Manual quickly doing the swim. That's the moment I want. I want it.
Yeah.
Someone's getting money from
Yeah.
me when that comes out. They're gonna get money. All right, here we go. Ready? Let's see what we got here.
Let's get it.
It says give me 1 minute. It's probably the market's probably down.
Actually, I believe it was. We had hopped on, and it was maintenance. It was a maintenance situation.
It probably is. Oh shit! Oh come on! I got Austin Rivers. He's a Knick for at least another week, so we're good. We got Austin Rivers 3. We'll take that. Hey, it's a Knick. I'm happy. I'll take it. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Brooklyn. Oh, we got Kyrie Irving. You know how much I love Kyrie Irving. Maybe this moment is the one where he's out there shaking his sage stick. Nope. There he goes. It's the one on Draymond layup. Hey, not too bad. Not too bad.
Could be your All-Star Game MVP.
Could be. Hey, there's a nice shot of Stephen A. Smith in the background. That's my seeing stars is the Kyrie Irving.
I see him. I see him now.
And then the last one, Fred VanVleet. Oh, VanVleet. I got love for VanVleet.
So many names.
Got love for him.
Yeah. And just so you guys know too, just got a notification pop through on the phone. The 2-on-2 pick tonight, 2-on-2 game. Quavo, Harlow, 2 Chainz, and Lil Baby. Just wanted to put that out there for y'all.
Yeah. So I can't believe of all people for me to get my seeing stars, I got Kyrie Irving. Can you believe that? And I know for
I think it's
you guys
it's hilarious.
Every week I bitch about Kyrie Irving. Every week.
And I'm sitting over here saying there's nothing to be bitching about because the guy might be a couple fries short of a Happy Meal maybe, but the guy can hoop and he can hoop, man. Like he's just different, dog. Like that's it. He's different, and that's all right, man. I'm all right with Kyrie, man. Like he talking that shit to Bron, but like he all right, though. Like
yeah,
he all right.
I know. I never said the man can't play ball. Yeah, I never said that. I just. I'm just not a fan.
It's too much for you.
It's just too much.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, either way, it's not a bad card to have. He's having a great year. So I'm all for it. I'll be putting that up for sale a little later.
Easily.
If the market's back up and running again.
Easily, bro.
All right, cool. So we hit a little bit on that Top Shot. Why don't we switch back over and talk a little bit about some NBA trade rumors that are going on right now? There's been quite a bit of talk about the Celtics, for one, that I've been reading about a lot about too. A lot of folks was talking about them going after a big man like Drummond or in buyout and pieces like that for Cousins. And now that the talk is that they don't want anybody, but they're looking at Harrison Barnes. That's a little wild. I'm like, I don't know. That one just. I'm like, you got Brown, Tatum, no bigs in the middle, and you want to go for Harrison Barnes?
You forgot to be wait, and you didn't even talk about the dog Marcus Smart that's gonna be coming back at some point. Like those are all those guys. Like I'm not gonna say they're the same player, but like they're all perimeter 2 and 3 guys, man. Like maybe stretch 4. Like so, what's the play? Like what's the play on that for the season? I don't know if that's the best move for him. I know it like earlier on, like I had seen something about Vooch. Like I'm like, yo, like anybody, like if you can get your hands on Vooch, like that's a hell of a move for sure. But then also the question comes with in turn, like what do you got to give up to get him? Because like it's not just going to be like he's coming over there for a bag of lollipops, but
Right.
like yeah, I don't quite understand the Harrison Barnes thing. For the C's, I think HB man, he's a solid player, man. I think a lot of people forget he was on that championship team with Golden State. When they beat the Cavs without Kyrie and Kevin Love, whenever they beat LeBron without Kyrie and Kevin Love, and he's always been a solid player, man, for sure. So I think obviously like if they add him, like he's gonna help them, but like what are you giving up to get him? Like if
Yeah,
like
I don't
what are
know.
you giving up on your roster to give him? Because like essentially at that point, like it's like six in one hand, half a dozen in the other, because like what's the point,
Yeah,
man? So
it's
yeah,
like you
I don't
said.
know if I really like that move, man.
They all play pretty much the same roles. I do not get it. I don't get it at all. Like it seems like
Yeah.
the biggest area opportunity for them is at center. Daniel Thies got
Yeah.
crushed last year in the playoffs. He looked awful. Like he does fine, during regular season, but you're not playing for regular season, and they need to get some help in the middle. Even trying to get Horford back. I don't think he'd ever come back, but not willingly. But even bringing him back would help out with something. But that's one for
Absolutely,
sure.
man.
The other team, and I got it up on the screen here, even is the Mavs are talking big talk, trying to get some more help in the middle, which I think is hilarious since Porzingis is 7'10" and fucking broken every other game.
The unicorn.
Yeah,
The unicorn.
Shit. And that guy. But like, so they're trying to get some help in the middle, and they said talking about Kevin Love potentially or Drummond. They're looking at both to go play defense next to Porzingis. So I don't know if you
it
read
would have
any
to
of
be
that.
Andre Drummond. It had to be Andre Drummond because Kevin Love ain't playing no damn defense. I can tell you that right now. So that ain't happening. that ain't happening, man. And like Andre Drummond, like it's just a price tag thing with him, man. Like that's really all it is. Because like a couple things, man. It's not like dude can't play.
No.
It's not like like he has not been good over the last 3 or 4 years. It's not like hey, like if you're in the Eastern Conference, you're gonna need a guy like him to go against Joel Embiid. Like you're gonna need him for sure. So like I mean, obviously Dallas is out west, but like I think hey, I know there's been talk of Toronto and Drummond as well. Like if anybody, if they can get him, man, if Dallas can get him, I think that's definitely a win for sure. But again, man, it comes down to what do you got to give up? And I think
Yeah.
like they've got some draft picks, I believe, from some trades. But like Dallas has a nice roster. Like they haven't played up to the level that they're capable of playing up to. But there's still obviously a second half of the season left for sure. But like Andre Drummond with them, and I think that's nice. I think even like all jokes aside, like if Kevin Love was to go there, depending on what it was that they gave up, now now you have a lot of shooters, and that's why Dallas was really good last year. They had a lot of shooters out on the floor. And Kevin Love is still a guy that can still shoot the ball. He's still a guy that can make great decisions. And he's still a guy that can rebound. He's a liability he's a liability on defense. But like it's almost kind of like this Dallas Mavericks team is looking very old school Phoenix Sunish.
Yeah.
With no defense and run and gun and the elite point guard. And so like, it is what it is, man. So that would definitely be interesting though, man, with Drummond there for sure. So.
Yeah, I mean, no one's gonna out rebound Drummond. That just is what it is, and he's gonna put it back up. And he plays good D. I mean, he's a solid guy. I don't think they have to give up that much to get him. Honestly, I mean, look at what the Cavs gave up to get him. What they'd give up.
True. What's that contract, bro?
Couple G League players and a buy one get one free Whopper coupon. Like that's all they gave
there
up to
it
get
is.
him.
There it is.
And then they haven't really used him that much. They used him last year, and then this year they got him riding the bench to save him just to trade him. The other one, this is the first time I saw this yesterday. I saw this about Larry Nance Jr. being up on the block. He was not rumored to be on the block until this week. He's one I think is very interesting because he can play pretty solid. He's not ever going to be an all-star or a superstar, but he's a solid contributor when he's in the game. And if you could bring him off the bench, you're looking pretty good for a contending team.
Right, and that's really what this boils down to, man. Is it's about him going to a place where he can have a role on a contender. And some of the teams that they had talked about him possibly going to, that's 100% what it is. Because there's a lot of teams that he's definitely drawing interest from. Minus the T Wolves are not a playoff contender,
Yeah.
but they just have to be looking down the road. But the C's, the Sixers, the Pelican, the Heat, and the Mavericks as well. He's a guy that's athletic. He's going to play both ways for you. He can rebound the ball. He can make some shots. So like, yeah, to your point, man, like I think it definitely could be a good move for one of those teams. For me, the team that I think that, would really benefit the most, we've been talking about it, is the Celtics. Like he's not a perimeter guy, but he's athletic enough to defend on the perimeter, but he can also play in the post and play post players, and he's going to rebound and he's going to run the court. And he's not a guy that you have to run plays for or anything like that. So like, and to your point, like you probably don't have to give up a ton to get him. So now
Right.
all of a sudden, you look out there on the court, like, hey, um, you could have Marcus Smart playing the point, and I'm just, I know obviously Kemba's there, but you could have Marcus Smart playing the point. You could have Jaylen Brown at 2. You can run Tatum at 3. You can run him at 4, at Nance at 4, and you can run Thompson at 5. And now, hey man, like now you've got a unit out there that can really defend. And there's not a lot of holes out there because you still have Tatum, you still have Brown out there. And Marcus Smart, for whatever people have to say about him, he's actually been shooting the ball relatively well this year.
Yeah.
So now, like, hey, you got some guys out there that can defend, and I think, for Brad Stevens, man, like that is one of the places that the Celtics have got to improve on is on the defensive end. Like for them to have those caliber of athletes that they have out there and to be like as poor as they are defensively, I think that could definitely. I think that's the best place for him to go. It's no homer pick or anything
Nah.
like that right there. I just think he's just the best fit there for them for sure.
Yeah, and they probably get him pretty cheap. Honestly, I think that I don't think he's gonna demand allow high picks or anything like that. Like that Danny Ainge isn't gonna have to break the bank for him.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the most intriguing NBA trade that's currently being proposed or rumored out there?
Well, I was just kind of just checking some things out before we got online, and I just had to kind of double back. I don't think you've heard this one, or maybe if you've heard it, maybe you just haven't got as excited about it as you could be or should be. But I was just reading about Victor Oladipo in the Knicks, man.
No.
I think no, you don't want nothing to do with Vic. You don't want nothing to do with Vic, man.
Yeah,
No, wow,
they get him. They get him in
wow.
the off season. They get him in the off season if he wants to. And everything I've seen says he personally wants to go to Miami. So like,
Mm,
what I don't want is the Knicks to spend capital on trading for Oladipo just for him to leave in the offseason.
yeah,
Like it'd have to be a
yeah,
sign and trade. That's the only way that I'd want to do it.
yeah.
Because
I mean,
it's just a big risk.
mm,
Big risk.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, so that was the most intriguing thing to me is just because like the Knicks, like they're in the race right now, they're in the hunt. Like I think for people on the outside and that really may not pay attention to it day in and day out, check the standings and DFS and everything, they may still be viewed as just the Knicks. But like, hey, like here we are at the break. They're at
Yeah.
the top half of the Eastern Conference, and like, hey, like what can you do like to bolster your,
Oh
your
yeah.
roster even more, because let's be honest, like hasn't been that guy. So really, I'm just thinking more of like, in the backcourt, like at some point in time, like if they want to win a series or they want to, make any noise, like they're definitely going to have to get some production from the backcourt. And, you talk about a gamble, you're still gambling, with Derrick Rose and, lower leg injuries, man, at this point in time. So hopefully, I think everybody, just NBA fans as a whole, really hope that, he can stay healthy, because, that's one of the saddest things that I think we've
Uh,
seen is like, we talk about, this guy and that guy and like, oh, who is this and who is that? Like, for those people that like don't know or don't remember, like, yo, go back and check out them Derrick Rose clips. Like, that dude was freak nasty.
Yep.
Freak nasty. And I
Unreal.
think I seen a thing the other day that was like, when you were guarding Derrick Rose at this time, and you already knew you were a step and a half behind. Like,
Yeah.
that's what it was, man. But no, like
Youngest
that was the most
MVP.
interesting one. Yeah, that's an interesting one to me, and I think another one that we didn't really talk about too much is uh the John Collins situation in Atlanta, and just kind of the coach being gone now, and Nate McMillan having that job, and now like, hey, like how is that whole situation going to shake out now? Like, is John Collins going to be a featured player? Is he not going to be a featured player? He's a free agent next year. So I think that's something to kind of just keep an eye on. I haven't really heard any rumors per se as far as teams, but I think it's just something just to kind of keep an eye on, because that guy, man, he's a uber talented big man, for sure. So.
Yeah, I'm
What about
wondering.
you, man? What's yours?
Well, yeah, Collins. I'm wondering where he's gonna go, because he's still so young and he is crazy talented. I think you can get him on a bargain right now. I don't think that you have to give up too much, because Atlanta's. I don't know what Atlanta's doing. Honestly, they're kind of a mess right
They don't
now.
know what they're doing
I,
now. They don't know what they're
They
doing now.
when they came out at the beginning of the year, I was like, Atlanta's a sleeper. I was like, man, they made these
Nah,
moves, Bogdanovich and Gallinari, and I was like, whew, they're
Rondo and
loaded.
Rondo too.
Yeah, Rondo.
Like,
Yeah, and I'm like, whew,
yeah,
man.
that's a guy. He's gonna rot away there, man. Like, he just went from like playing an integral role in winning an NBA championship to like being on this like shit show of a team in Atlanta. Like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if he ends up getting moved somewhere, man. I know like the Clippers had wanted to get a hold of him. I wouldn't be shocked if Braun, tried to, play some cards to get him back
yeah,
there.
pull
Or
him
even
back.
I've heard, I think, yeah, Kendrick Perkins, I think he had said something about, hey man, bring him back to Boston. Like that's a guy like Rajon Rondo is like, he's playoff Rondo. That's it. I ain't gonna say no more. Just playoff Rondo.
I
I'm gonna
always
leave it
say
at that, man.
we're not playing for the regular season. You're playing for the playoffs, right?
No,
So
you're not,
that's what
man.
it's
You're
about.
not.
The one that I've been reading a lot lately that I'm just like, what is this? Is Cat, Big Cat to the Knicks. There's all kinds of talk now about, hey, Tibbs will take Cat to the Knicks. I'm like, no, don't do that. And here's the thing, as a Knicks fan, I think Cat's awesome. I think he's incredibly talented, big guy. He's. I don't know why he hasn't ever prospered to be this. He should be better than Embiid with his.
Yeah.
He should be, but he's not. And I don't think that guy's all that square in the head either. So like, I don't really want to see him come to the Knicks, and then he's basically the reason Tibbs got fired last time.
Right.
I can't see it. I'm like, I don't want to see that one go down. But I've been reading a lot about that lately. That keeps popping up left and right. And after the game, when the last game with the Knicks played the Timberwolves, he and Randall were buddied up out on the court chatting. You could see them talking quite a bit. And all
there's
those
smoke, there's
Kentucky
fire,
boys, all the Kentucky boys.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah. That's a real thing right there, man. That's a real thing. My take on that is this, though, man. This is my take on it. I think Cat is obviously super skilled, and I've joked a lot about how he appears to be the most unathletic big man in the league, because I'm never going to disrespect an NBA player and be like, oh, they're unathletic, because shit, they're in the NBA, for God's sakes,
Yeah.
But like, in comparison to those other guys, like watching him move, I'm like, dude, he looks like an old man. But then my other take on it with him too is like, this is like, in the NBA since he's gotten there, like, he has not been the guy on a team that has been successful. So to kind of your point, you bring him to the Knicks with the anticipation of, all right, like, hey, like, we're getting all-star Cat, like, hey, one of the best big men in the league. And now you've got everybody's roles has to change now with the Knicks.
Right.
And they've got a damn good thing going, man. And even like for like an Oladipo, like, Oladipo's ego is not what Karl Anthony Towns' ego is. Like, just that. And like, obviously, like, I don't know neither one of the guys, but like, like, they ran Jimmy Butler out of town, for crying out loud. And like, you seen what Jimmy Butler just did in the bubble? Like, you just seen what he just did. Like, and they ran that man out of town. Yeah. So it's like, I'm with you, man. I wouldn't buy that one either, man. Not at this particular point. No.
No, I'd rather they wait for Devin Booker to force a trade there. and he can come in there
My
armed
man.
with Kendall on his arm to sit in the front row
He,
in Madison Square Garden, making it look pretty. I'm all for that. Like,
what a
let's go with
pimp.
that one.
What a pimp. What a pimp.
That sounds like a better
Oh,
deal to
man.
me. We need some Kardashians in the building.
Oh, man.
That,
Good for business. Good
that's
for
it. That's
business,
it.
man.
All right, cool,
Oh,
man.
shoot.
So, why don't we transition here? We talked a lot about NBA, but it is dirty fantasy sports. We do all fantasy sports, not just the NBA. So we're going to transition to do part two, talking about our quarterback carousel. There's a lot of moves being made in the NFL right now, or potential moves. People moving all over from Detroit to LA to LA to Detroit and here and the other. So your boy Big Ben, you got any news on that? You excited there?
Yeah. I'm happy, man. I think obviously, man, just as any football fan, of any team, like you obviously, and this is a great thing, man, about fantasy sports is it really gives you the opportunity to follow other players and to see how talented they are
Yeah.
and not be so biased about your own team, right? Because like some people, man, are so locked in and so biased about their own team and their own players, like to you, or like you miss the greatness that is going on in other places because like you won't let your mind go out of like
Right.
whatever team it is. But like all that being said, like I'm happy, man. I think it's cool. I think he definitely deserves to go out on his own terms for sure. And I think anytime you've won 2 Super Bowls, played in 3, played through the injuries that he's played through, been a staple for the Pittsburgh Steelers the way that he has. Everybody always talks about those wide receivers for Pittsburgh. One of the beautiful things about the game of football is it is not a one-man sport. It never has been, and it never
Yeah.
will be. And that football, it got there via Ben Roethlisberger. That's how that ball got there 9 times out of 10. And obviously, the offensive line. But I'm happy, man. I say, hey, man, run it back. He took a cap-friendly deal. Run it back, and if we can just be a little bit better on the offensive line, man, and we can get a run game, I think things will definitely end a little bit better for us for sure.
Hey, we'll see, man. I think he with Ben, the thing with him is can he maintain through the year? Because he looked good at the beginning
Yeah.
of the year. He looked solid, and
Oh
then he
yeah.
just kind of burnt out. He fizzled out, which is in the past that's always been his strong suit. Towards the end of the season, he'd just start coming on, and that did not go down this year. It was a very weird year for sure for Mr. Roethlisberger. So, what do you think of the fantasy implications with the Detroit and LA trade? Stafford going down to LA and Goff going into Detroit.
Well, I think this right here, man. A couple things. First thing, I'll talk about Jared Goff first. And I think this is one of the things that always happens in fantasy football is we get it in our mind, like, all right, Jared Goff was terrible with the Rams. He's going to a terrible situation in Detroit. But if Detroit is going to be terrible, guess what they're going to be doing?
Yep.
Throwing the football. So guess what? You'll probably be able to get Jared Goff for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
And hey, he might be a spot. He might be a spot starter. We don't know what's going to happen with. This could be sneaky because think about this: Kenny Galladay, Marvin Jones, T.J. Hawkinson.
Oh,
All right, like that could be a thing, right? Like
yeah, they
that
got
could
good
be
players.
a thing. Right. So like if I'm thinking about this and I'm saying like, well, what is it? What is it? Like, hey man, like, again, like he could be a really late round value or could just be somebody that, hey, people are writing off. And it could work out because ultimately you don't need him to win football games. You need him to get stats. So I'm not putting
Yeah.
Jared Goff in a coffin or anything like that. I might even have some shares of him in some of the best ball drafts that I'll be starting to do, man, after the NFL draft. So I'm okay with Jared Goff, man.
I'll tell you,
Quarterback too, for sure, no question on that.
I would say for me on Goff, when you look at if you can get him late rounds, like in a round robin style or in an auction draft, you pick him up for $1. Yeah, whatever, keep him. And then if he turns
Right.
into something, you're good. if he sucks just like he's always sucked, drop him. You're not investing a lot. I would definitely not make him
Right.
my go-to. I wouldn't pick him
Right.
up as a starter for sure. Like he's definitely a backup. Somebody
No.
I'm looking up on the second, or
QB2 all day,
a,
all day.
for DFS daily, I might use him on a flyer for some cheap money, a cheap play if the matchup's right. But I'm not
Exactly.
looking at him.
Yeah.
Stafford, on the other
No.
hand, Stafford going down with the Rams, that might look all right. I don't know. I know you're gonna shake your head. I might look all right. I
It might look all right, but Stafford he's gonna ball, man. He's gonna ball. Like I think that is just who he is, man. He's been that guy since he's been in college, man. He's been that guy. And McVay, man, he's a smart dude. But the other thing too, man, for people before they start getting all hot and bothered, Cam Akers. Cam Akers. Like Sean McVay wants to run the
hey,
football. And like, do I expect Matt Stafford to like be Matt Stafford in Detroit? I don't think so. And the only reason why I don't think so is because I just don't think that he's gonna have that many opportunities to throw the football like he did in Detroit, because like the Rams are gonna run the football, man. So like it'll be I think he's definitely a fringe QB1 for sure, but just not knowing, because it's definitely like you don't know what it's going to look like because they haven't had him, but that McVay wants to run the ball. So like at least they're going to at least be a balanced offense, and they're not going to be like crazy pass heavy. But
I
they
think
got the weapons. Ain't no damn doubt about that, bro.
I gotta tell you, I think I'm with you on the fact that they want to run, but I think that's gonna play to his benefit because
Yep.
that was the problem last year. They're trying to run, and then when they would look to go do play action or they're looking to drop back, they've got the fool. But Goff couldn't get it out there. He's missing wide open dudes or overthrowing and that kind of stuff. And I don't think Stafford will have that issue with
No,
overthrowing and not hitting his guys. Like the guy can throw. Now
no question.
he's got to stay healthy. We'll see.
Yep.
That's the other piece with him. You get the man's got to be able to last through the games to be able to throw the ball and get touchdowns. So, all right.
Yeah. Well,
So
go ahead.
we look at we getting a little further into this Houston, Miami. I'm hearing there's some more steam on that picking up, which is crazy. But that's been the talk this week on all the channels that Tua to Houston and sending for him
Oh
and
man.
and Houston's gonna get their picks back that they gave to
That's the part
Miami.
that's just the part that just makes it just so comical to me. That's the part. Like not anything else revolving around the situation. Just the fact that like, okay, you can have your pick back.
Yeah,
Like what are they doing that at, man? Like
that's crazy.
oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh. It makes me laugh, man. But like it's clear, dude. Deshaun Watson is not like he ain't gonna play for the Texans.
No.
And I think my man Le'Veon Bell set the standard with that right there, that like, all right, cool. Like I'll sit it out. And I think just kind of given the climate of the world and everything else, like I honestly really truly believe that like Deshaun Watson will not suit up for the Houston Texans, even if that means like he doesn't play for anybody. I don't think that he is going to play another down for the Texans, man.
Yeah.
So, but like that Miami situation, that could be crazy, because I think they're a team that's definitely on the rise. I love everything they got going on down there. Flores, it's cool to finally see one of Belichick's guys be successful and kind of step away from that shadow of, hey, like, Bill Belichick's assistants, they're not successful unless they're with Bill Belichick. It's just really good to see, and it's cool to see. And like I said, if Watson goes there, man, like obviously, hey, man, they're an instant playoff team, no question
Oh yeah.
about it, for sure. No question about it, man. So yeah, that's just a funny situation
Oh
all in all,
yeah.
man, for
And
my money, man.
fantasy wise, I mean, Watson would be great down in Miami. I mean, not that he's already a QB1. I think his situation gets
Right.
better going down there for sure. I mean, it's arguable at least. He doesn't have Fuller, but Fuller was injured for half the damn year anyway. So I mean, so
Yeah,
he's gonna have targets, and he's already proven he can do it with any receivers. It doesn't matter. He doesn't need superstars to be able to throw
right.
it to. So I think he's in good shape if he goes down there. Tua, on the other hand, I'm not picking him up if he's in Miami or in Houston. I don't care. I don't
No,
see
man.
it. He's not the
No.
guy for me.
No, not unless like, and I always try not to say never, just like with QBs and just like with second and third year players, man, just because sometimes, when you put up that never wall, sometimes you can miss the boat, man, on a really good thing. And a lot of times what happens with teams and the way that they're constructed over the course of the year is, I got a buddy, he's in the league that we're in, and I always shit with him all the time. When we start to get to the later rounds, this guy, I ain't lying to you, I could name off probably 10 players this guy is taking that people thought were dead in the water, and he got them, and they went nuts. Darren McFadden.
Yep.
Darren McFadden with Oakland. Darren McFadden was dead for like 4 years, bro. And like, just because like, hey, like, you roll the dice, you take him as a late value, like maybe. And I think, with Tua, like, I'm not saying like, I'm not being like, hey, go grab him. But like, you never know. Like you never know. And like, I feel like it's kind of the same situation with Jared Goff. I think they're like right in that QB2 class. And with Watson, like, it's a no-brainer, man. Like QB1s, like at this point, quarterback ones, unless they're gonna throw like a Stafford, like he's not gonna get any rushing yards. So Watson, he's gonna get rushing yards, and he's going to be the heart and soul of that team, like no question, no doubt about it. But like as far as like Tua, unless he takes a gigantic leap, he probably will not be on any of my rosters unless I have a guy like Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, just as a 1 week play, something like that right there, man.
Cool, man. Well, I think we hit quite a bit tonight. So with that, as we start to go out here, you got any final thoughts you want to throw out to the folks that are still viewing?
Hey, man, definitely check us out, man. Subscribe to us. Tell your friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Like us. We want to be able, to hop on here, more than just one time a week, man. This is a passion of both of ours. We love it. And we definitely want to be able to have these conversations. We appreciate all the engagement tonight. That's all I got, bro.
Cool. All right. With that, good luck to everybody. Hope you enjoy the weekend, and happy top shotting. See you next time.